mind is gonna be running all over the place. Am I gonna miss? Am I gonna hit it? Is this gonna happen? Is this gonna happen? Wow, you fucked up. Now it's over.
That's how you know who's really doing.
Oh, were y'all in the middle?
Go.
So, yeah, Hebrew Israelites, right? Alright, so you, yeah, but that genealogy doesn't mean nothing. So what are you? So what are you? I think.
Well, what's your nationality?
What? My nationality? Well, right now it's African American. Because that's where I'm at.
That's what they told me.
No.
So what would you call before then? What would you call before then?
No, see.
Because Africa and America is the last name of two Edomites. Yep. So how could that be your nationality?
Right.
America Vespucci. So-called white man. America Vespucci. That's what America's name. It means bitter. And Scipio Africanus is another so-called white man. Before it was Africa, it was called the land of Ham. So what the world know people's nationality based off of today is based off of what the white man told them what nationality was. Because everybody goes back to a biblical nationality, which us being the Hebrew Israelites, so-called Chinese man being the Moabites, which scriptures you'll see Moab, you'll see Ammon, who was so-called Japanese. Everybody's name has been changed, and the land has too.
I got a precept for you if you don't mind.
Right? Go ahead.
This is Psalms 49 and 11. It says their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, right? And their dwelling place to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. So, brother, you not know African American.
No, I just said that's what I am now. I'm in America. But the thing is, I know who I am. I know who I am.
Who are you?
I'm Jabril. That's my name.
Right, you have a name. We all have
Yeah.
names. But do you
last
know your
name.
nationality?
Yeah, I know my nationality.
What is your nationality?
My father is a descendant of I'm just actually we Moors.
Moors were Israelites who went to Israel. So Israelites is the base origin of it all.
But there's two sons. Like one was a promise and the other one was not.
Right.
Exactly. So Ishmael wasn't a promise.
Right. So we are the children of Isaac and Jacob.
But so
Which are Israelites.
Okay, I got that part. So you just believe, like everybody else, 144,000 of us are going to heaven?
They're going to be saved.
Just 144,000?
And families.
The 144,000 is basically going to be the governing body of the kingdom. But you got a 1/3 and you got the 2/3. And 1/3 is basically the elect. Okay, the 144K is within the 1/3. Okay, 2/3 is basically the rest of the Israelites that's not going to make it. Okay, once again, the 144,000 is the governing body.
So what about the ones that's not Israelites?
That's 2/3.
Where it says that it was a number, a number they did not know, right? That's in Revelation. So the whole Bible is connected together because the Old Testament is the New Testament concealed. The New Testament is the Old Testament revealed because what everything was pointing down to was Christ.
The Old Testament is the Old Covenant. The New Testament is the New Covenant.
Exactly.
So the New Covenant is for us to be with the celestial bodies.
Got that part. But the old covenant was talking about the new covenant. Yeah, it was. And the new covenant is the old covenant revealed. And so where was it revealed at? It was revealed in Christ.
It's the old covenant made better. Like that's why the new covenant.
Better things.
Right.
Better things.
Yeah.
That's what Paul said.
Better promises. No, like the Lord's gonna be put in our inward parts. We agree with you.
Yeah.
Like, that's why we all gotta be changed. And to go back to what you said about the kingdom of heaven, like the people that's not gonna make it, all right, that's gonna get burnt up in that nuclear fire. let's say the Holy Bible by that right there, those missiles, they gonna come back as the elected children. Okay, because you said heaven, right?
Yeah.
Because you thinking at it from like a Christian standpoint. All right, so like heaven and hell. All right, it's no such thing as hell. Hell is a condition that's played out on earth. You see what I'm saying?
He said that's those that don't make it or don't believers going to the lake of fire.
Right.
So that's what
all the believers.
That's what they call hell.
But that's what the lake of fire is.
So you think it's a nuclear thing?
Of course, 100%.
So if you do some research and where these guys were drilling down, that's what they said. It was drilling down, and they heard cries and screams.
Nah, man.
So, but you've never done that research.
I've heard about it, but it's just like, yeah.
I don't do much do myself, but it's just a point.
But you say you believe in hell, though, right?
Because I can't believe in heaven.
We telling you that there's no such thing as hell.
Heaven is rulership.
But Christ said there's going to be nationalism. So how can
Have you seen that movie Terminator?
It's just not from.
Have you seen the movie Terminator? When that glass came and her ass was stuck on the fence, and that heat wave came, and gnashing the teeth is just like agony, pain. Wait, like people gonna be in turmoil. They're gonna be fucked up down.
Oh, we almost in turmoil now.
I'm saying, but hell is a condition. It really means the grave. It's also a condition which we are in here. We on the bottom. We in here. The so-called white man is in his heaven right now.
So
he's in rulership.
So if we're based off love and stuff, so you don't love everybody.
Everybody don't love me.
No, but still, but
God don't love everybody.
Yes, he does.
No, so
how you figure?
Because he said
I got a scripture for you.
Well, the same.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
Bring out that scripture.
The Lord don't love everybody. He loves these people right here, and more specifically, the elect.
But if you can't,
2/3,
but if you
they're
can't
gonna
even
be perished
right,
and die.
but if you can't follow the genealogy,
What you
like
mean?
Paul said,
The Lord said,
this is what Paul said.
Don't worry about English
Genealogy is kind.
Exactly.
He fit the person.
So what
He
did
fit the
Paul
person
say?
and the blessing.
Paul said there's no more. There's neither. Yeah, it's in
Yeah,
Romans.
that's talking about these people who are living like Gentiles, not the natural born Gentiles. The covenants were never to them.
All right, Shalom. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakak Wadash, and double honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect that's out there. All right, Shalom to the brothers who are pushing this gospel to the four corners of the earth, and to you few sisters out there who believe in the gospel of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, Shalom to you all. All right, and yet again, you saw the clip. Right, a little bit lengthy, but I had to try to make sure I get enough of what that Jake was trying to come across with, so that we can bring some edification out in this short lesson. All right, but you can go and watch the whole camp. It's posted on the page, but I just wanted to take a little excerpt out of it and try to speak on a couple of points. And like I started out to say, yet again, here we are with another Jake who is totally confused, all right, about what the scriptures are actually saying and what they mean, okay? And he came with his Christian doctrine, you see. Basically, some of his points were that, as you heard, we gave him basically information on the fact that you're not an African American. And what I wanted to say was to ask him, hey, what is your nationality? And he said he was African American, right? And you're going to get that from most of these Christian people, okay, who think that being a Hebrew Israelite, okay, is some kind of novice thing, and And they think that we're not well studied. You see, they think this is some kind of passing phase, all right, that they can just walk up to us and approach us and then think that they're going to actually teach us, okay? So anyway, without further ado, what I'm going to get into, as you heard him say, he's terribly just misguided, all right? And I believe he was a Pentecostal Christian, you see. So some things he said he understood, but then he would contradict himself, all right, as you heard. Now, what's going on now, is that there's so many brothers and sisters who have awakened to the fact that we are the real, true, biblical descendants of the Hebrew Israelites, right? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, okay? We're the descendants, right? We're that seed, okay? And this is not a thing that all will understand or all will be able to receive, because it's already been prophesied that many will be still asleep, okay? Many will not understand the prophecies, okay? And they'll be stuck right where they are, all right? Just to make it plain, okay? And we tried to convey that to him, but, he was obviously being stubborn, and that's our people, okay? He didn't understand what was coming out, even though we're speaking plainly from the scriptures. Now, we have more scriptures on deck, but of course, everything is spiritual, so it wasn't meant for his ears to get it, okay? So let's just jump right into this real quick, because this is the understanding that there was a prophecy from Isaiah in which the Lord Yahushua, he fulfilled that prophecy of speaking to his own people, and they would have ears to hear but not understand, okay? And it wasn't meant for them to get it in the first place, all right? Because there's a certain number, all right, that's set for that destruction, and there's a certain remnant, all right, a certain number. Though the number be large, it's still a smaller portion of the pie, if you will. All right, when you think about 1/3 of a pie and then the other 2/3 of the pie, okay? If you draw a circle and split it into threes, okay, that 2/3 part is bigger than that 1/3 part. All right, but only 1/3 will come back to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And within that 1/3, and the brother broke it down for him, but he still couldn't get it, is the 144,000, because he made a comment saying that you all only believe that 144,000 would make it. No, that's not what we believe. That's not what we said. 144,000 will be a part of that 1/3 that gets saved, but that's the governing body. Okay, now that 1/3, these 2/3 of our own people in the kingdom will come back through the loins of the men. Okay, but again, when you speak it to a Christian who in his Christendom, he refuses to, let his guard down, right? All right, to get the understanding, but that again is a spiritual thing. So with that, let's just go into Matthew, and we'll get a couple of examples, because it's spoken of in many different places about the remnant that's going to come back, about those that will be led to destruction, about those that are meant to hear this word, right, to get this word of repentance, through this grace period with Yahushua, right? Okay, so this is Matthew 13:10, and it reads, "And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables?" Right? That was the question to him, is why did you not explain everything to them in just plain speech so that they could get it? All right. So it goes on, he says, "He answered and said unto them," meaning the disciples, "because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given." And that was another part of his conversation of heaven and hell. In Christian doctrine, they believe heaven is up in the sky and hell is down in the middle of the earth. They don't understand that the kingdom that's coming, heaven, will be that rulership upon the earth. All right, and hell right now for the Israelites is the condition in which we're living. Okay, and then after we've lived this terrible life here, and you pass on, let's say, right, that your body goes into the pit that's known as hell. You're buried. Your body is buried, right? Your spirit has ascended and gone back to the Heavenly Father. All right, that's a concept Christians cannot receive. They can't get it. Okay. All right. So going further. Verse 12, it says, "For whosoever hath to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand." Right? So he could preach it to them, all right, but it's not meant for every one of them to get it. Okay? Verse 14, "And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Esaias," which is Isaiah, "which saith, By hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart, which is their mind, is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart," right? And understand what he was talking about, what he was preaching about with their minds, right? And should be converted, right? Switched over, changed. Because when you get to the book of Acts, that's what it's talking about. All right, the men of Israel being converted, coming back. Okay, the Gentiles being converted and coming back, the proselytes. You see, "And I should heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and I have heard them." Okay? So it goes into also the parable of the seed sower. Okay? We can find the same thing right here in Mark. Salakia. Let's go up to the top. All right, the parable of the sower and soils, right? And we'll read down. Okay, just so that you have some context. Same thing, same story. Okay, and it reads, Mark 4:1, "And he began again to teach by the seaside, and there was gathered unto him a great multitude, a multitude of his people." All right, not foreigners. Okay. Not different nation people, though there may be a few you could say that might have been mingled in there some kind of way, all right, but for the practical intense purpose, to the Israelites, all right, that were around the town of Galilee and Jerusalem and Bethlehem and so on and so forth, so that you can understand and get a picture in your mind, okay? "And he began again to teach by the seaside, and there was gathered unto him a great multitude, so that he entered into a ship and sat in the sea, and the whole multitude was by the sea on the land. And he taught them many things by parables, and said unto them in his doctrine, Hearken, behold, there went out a sower to sow. And it came to pass, as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and fowls of the air came and devoured it up. And some fell on stony ground, where it had not much earth, and immediately it sprang up, because it had no depth of the earth. Right? But when the sun was up, it was scorched, and because it had no root, it withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it, and yielded no fruit. And other fell on good ground, and did yield fruit, and sprang up, and increased, and brought forth some 30, some 60, some 100-fold. And he said unto them, He that hath ears to hear, let them hear. Salakia, let him hear. And when he was alone, they that were about him with the 12 asked him the parable, right? So he's giving you an idea of the seed, right, being sown, okay? And some seed produced and some seed didn't. Some seed came up, but then it died, okay? All right? Verse 11, and he said unto them, Unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of Yahweh, but unto them that are without, all these things are done in parables, that seeing they may see and not perceive, and hearing they may hear and not understand, lest at any time they should be converted, and their sins should be forgiven them. Okay? So not all was supposed to get this. Just like you today, there are many brothers and sisters who are in the faith, who are in truth, okay, who understand this truth, who receive this truth, all right, and are practicing, their lives as Hebrew Israelites, right, doing the very best that they can under these conditions, all right, under these circumstances in which we're living today, okay, keeping the law as best as you can, okay, staying away from abominable foods, right, men growing their beards out, all the things that we can actually control right now in this captivity. That's what we're doing, right? Keeping the Sabbath, right? Watching for the new moon, so on and so forth, right? Those are things that we can try to do now, okay? But then there are those who are still so-called Christians, all right, who can't receive this, though they be part of Israel in those so-called black churches, all right? So let's go over to the Salaki. Let's go over to Isaiah, where you find this. And I brought this out during the camp, but this was after this man left, okay? But this is Isaiah 6:8, and it reads, also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then said I, here am I, send me. Okay? And he said, go and tell this people. What people? The Israelites. Hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Yeah, right. And do you not see this? Right? We just read what happened in the Gospels, right? Which is reflection of this here in the prophet. Okay? Verse 10, make the heart of this people fat, again, going into their minds, making it so that their minds cannot conceive it. Their minds are clouded up with all the other stuff pertaining to life, right? They have other philosophies, they have other doctrines, they believe in other things other than Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Okay? Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart and convert and be healed. See? Then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, until the city be wasted without inhabitants, and the house without man, and the land be utterly desolate. And the Lord Yahweh hath removed man far away, and there be a great forsaken in the midst of the land. Right? So, this was part of the prophecy. Okay? And now you look at us today, we're far from our land. Okay? And we a lot of us, right? I'm not going to say us, but a lot of our people in our nation, right? They don't have any understanding whatsoever as to what's really going on. They don't know what's happening. Okay? Now let's go up here to Isaiah 60, and we'll read a little bit about this. Because he went into all about the Gentiles and all of that. I'm not going to rehash that. Like I said, you could watch the camp video on the page, okay? But just to show you that the remnant will return, okay? And that's what we're experiencing today, okay? And he doesn't understand the mystery of the Gentiles, okay? Again, it's not given to them. Now, who's to say? Maybe one day this man may wake up, right? We don't know how the Spirit's going to operate. Maybe somewhere in his psyche, somewhere down in his mind, he did catch a seed from camp, from the brothers preaching and the scriptures coming out. You never know, okay? But anyway, let's get into Isaiah 60:1. Right here it says, arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord Yahweh is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord Yahweh shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thine eyes round about, and see all they gather themselves together, they come to thee. Thy sons shall come from far, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The force of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. Okay, the multitude, it goes into what's going to happen, but the point being, okay, that verse 4, lift up thy eyes round about and see, all they gather themselves together, they come to thee. Thy sons shall come from afar, and thy daughters shall be nursed by thy side. Okay, because as it says at the top, the glorified Zion. Okay, you can read further into 60. Okay, but just to get to the point that, you know, the Gentiles, who are the strangers of Israel, will come back. You know, the remnant, Salakia, the remnant will come back. Now let me see here, where do I want to go? Let's go to Revelation, because I think he brought up the multitude. Okay, what about that multitude of people that you couldn't number, right? And he thinks that means all the nations, right? All the nation people can come and they can make it. No, that's not what it's talking about, all right? Because there's a great multitude of Israelites, all right? They can't be named or numbered, rather. All right, so let's look at Revelation 7 and 9. And it reads, after this I beheld the lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. Right, so that's what he was trying to go into, but he doesn't understand that we are those people who have come from all these different lands. Okay, he doesn't see that part. Verse 10, and cried with a loud voice, saying, salvation to our power, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb, which is Yahushua. And all the angels stood round about the throne, and about the elders, and 4 beasts, and fell before the throne on their faces, and worshipped the Most High, saying, Amen. Blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be unto our power forever and ever. Amen. Okay, so he doesn't understand who that multitude is, all right? Coming out of that remnant, it's a small number, but yet it is a great number that can't be numbered, all right? Isaiah 10 and 20, and it reads, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, right? It doesn't mention any other nation, it just mentions Israel. And such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decree shall overflow with righteousness, for the Lord power of hosts shall make a consumption even determined in the midst of all the land. Okay, so the remnant is scattered all over the place, right? And will come back. Even though the word remnant usually means small, but in the case of the Israelites, it's so many coming back, even those that look like the other nation people. See, which is something else that he could not understand. All right. Let's get over here to Hosea 1 and 10, and it reads, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, right, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people. And where's that place? Over here, Babylon the Great. They, even today they acknowledge, they look at the men of the Lord and don't acknowledge you, right? They don't acknowledge the men of the Lord. They don't acknowledge the men who are on the highways and byways, you know, they come up scoffing. They come up trying to teach you, you know, or teach us for that matter. Okay? They look at you and say, you're not from Israel, right? Y'all niggas. We caught y'all in the net in Africa. Okay? Like he was saying, he was African American. Okay? Yeah, y'all saw the made for TV movie Roots. That's how y'all got over here, right? Y'all was Africans. We chased y'all down and caught you in the net and brought you over here like wild animals. Okay? And today they deny who we are. Right? Hosea 1:10 again, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together, and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land. For great shall be the day of Jezreel, right? You know, under Yahweh Shai, man, we're going to be powerful. Okay? Yahweh Shai is our head. Okay? And he's under the Father. This Romans 9 and jump in right here, 27. It reads, Esaias also cried concerning Israel, though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, right? A remnant shall be saved. He will finish the work and cut it short in righteousness, because a short work will the Lord make upon the earth. And as Isaiah said before, except the Lord of Sabaoth had left us a seed, and he had been as we would have been as Sodom, and been made like unto Gomorrah. What shall we say then? That the Gentiles which follow not after righteousness have obtained righteousness, even the righteousness which is of faith. But Israel which follow after the law of righteousness have not obtained to the law of righteousness. Wherefore, because they sought it not by faith, but as it were by the works of the law, for they stumbled at the stumbling block, as it is written, behold, I lay in Zion a stumbling block and a rock of offense, and whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed. Right, and that's those that are coming back, who did not know that you were Israelites. You gained it through faith, all right? And then you got those, as we call them now, you know, these people who are so, you know, they know that they Israel and trying to live their lives by the law, right? And don't accept the grace of Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is a stumbling block to them. Okay? They think that they can live by the law. No, you can't. You're breaking laws left and right, daily, hourly, in some cases, by the minute. You see? I think pretty much that's all I wanted to get. Let's get one last thing. All right? Because he talked about this is based in love. Well, yeah, love for each other, love for our brethren, love for our nation as we deal with one another. Okay? Some we can't deal with, but those that we can, man, we show love to them. Okay? In which he can't understand the fact that the Gentiles being spoken of are Hebrews. Okay? All right? So let's look at Romans 13 and start right here, verse 8. And it reads, owe no man anything but to love one another, for he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law. Right? And how did you do that? How did we fulfill it? By doing this. For this thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. Where'd you hear these at? Right, in the Old Testament. Okay? The Ten Commandments, if you will. And this is how you show love to your brother. Thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet. And if there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Right, that's what Yahweh Shai said. All right, but it's all encompassed in that. Okay, because when you love your neighbor, when you love your brother, like he tried to say your neighbor was the person living next to you, or any of these, Edomites. You got Edomite neighbors, you're supposed to love them too. No, they're your enemy. Okay? But it is talking about your brother, because you won't commit adultery. You won't try to covet his wife and steal his wife. You won't break in his house. You won't steal. You won't lie on the man, on the brother, right? You won't do any of those things. So that is showing forth your love, right? For a brother of your nation. See, but they take it and think it's literal. That means any joker that's living next door to you. That's how these Christians think. Because they get it from the church. Slakia. You see? They ain't ready, man. They really don't have any understanding. I don't even know why they would even approach, the men of the Lord out there on the street preaching the truth. But anyway, let's finish this out. Romans 13:10. And it reads, love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Right. When you show that you can keep these basic commandments right here, you're not showing any ill towards your neighbor. You're not going to do anything to hurt your neighbor, which again is someone of your own nation. Your brother of your own nation. All right. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfillment of the law. Right. That's how you fulfill it, by doing these things that you were taught. All right. That you were trained in. Right? That you've come back to. Okay? Verse 11, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. Right? So, it is time to wake out of sleep. That man could not get it. All right? So, he's still asleep. He hasn't been converted. Okay, and like I said earlier, maybe the Lord will have mercy on him and he wake up. But hey, as it stands today, you still in gross darkness. All right. So with that, I ended right there. Didn't really want to go that long, but just try to get to a few points. Okay, that was in the camp video. Okay. So with that, I'll end the lesson right there. Hey man, Jake got a long way to go. All right, just thank Yahweh Sion that he woke us up. Okay, all praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, B'Kakwadash. Double honor to our apostles and elders here at Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'll see you all again real soon with another lesson, Lord willing. Shalom.